but I'm told that Arsenal will also bring in a new winger for sure. That's the intention. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today guys, we have a Here We Go, an important update on Martin Zubimendi, something to mention also on the story of the week, Xabi Alonso, but also Victor Osimhen, Jorrel Hato. Let's jump into it together. And so guys, I start this weekend of transfer news with a Here We Go, with an important story. And the Here We Go is for Martin Zubimendi to join Arsenal in the summer transfer window. It's a Here We Go, is a deal set to be completed because in terms of formal steps, we still have to wait because Martin Zubimendi is a top professional, is a top guy, and he always had the intention to respect Real Sociedad. You remember 1 year ago he turned down the proposal from Liverpool to stay at Real Sociedad to show his commitment. Then now he doesn't want to sign anything before the end of the season, so full focus on Real Sociedad till the very end. But it's a Here We Go because Arsenal will pay the release clause, 60 million euros. Arsenal are prepared to proceed with the formal steps as soon as everything will be ready also on player side, but they got a green light, and so Arsenal will have Martin Zubimendi as first signing of the season 25-26 with a new director Andrea Berta, with Mikel Arteta still having a big voice in terms of transfers and planning for the future steps. Is gonna be a very huge and important summer at Arsenal. New striker, of course, we know about that, but I'm told that Arsenal will also bring in a new winger for sure. That's the intention. They are also looking at defenders and more, so it's going to be very busy at Arsenal. Don't forget about midfielders. We said about Zubimendi, who is going to sign a long-term deal at Arsenal at the right moment, but also important to mention that Jorginho is leaving. He will go to Flamengo. There is a negotiation ongoing with Thomas Partey over new deal, so Arsenal are working on several things, on several steps. Don't forget about the youngsters, Lewis Kelly and Nwaneri both negotiating a new deal at Arsenal, but today it's time for Arsenal to be very happy, I think, because they will bring in a top midfielder like Martin Zubimendi, a top quality player, a player that they've been wanting for months. So Arsenal have been on this topic since December, January, when they started the active conversations with Real Sociedad to find an agreement. And so the agreement is done between the clubs. They've been also in contact, from what I'm hearing, Arsenal and Real Sociedad, to discuss the structure of the clause, to find an agreement, and then the clause will be activated in terms of paying that fee. But Arsenal and Real Sociedad will have an agreement. The relationship is excellent, and so Martin Zubimendi will play at Emirates Stadium next season. Who's going to be at the Bernabeu next season is Xabi Alonso. The Here We Go is coming, as I told you, but what I wanted to add to this topic is that there will be no issues between Real Madrid, Bayer Leverkusen for Xabi Alonso. The relationship is really excellent between Fernando Carro, the director at Bayer Leverkusen, also with Sam Rolfs. They have an excellent relationship with people at Real Madrid. So Real Madrid will pay a symbolic compensation to Bayer Leverkusen as part of the agreement. But 1 year ago, when Xabi Alonso had the possibility to go to Bayern, he already told them very clearly that he wanted to go to Real Madrid one day, so he was going to accept to continue at Bayer Leverkusen, but the condition was to be free to go to Real Madrid whenever was the case, 2025, 2026, or in the future. Now is going to be the case because Real Madrid are working to complete the formal steps, but it will happen. Xabi Alonso will be the new coach. They are already discussing the stuff. What I want to tell you also today, guys, is that we have to update in the next days about that. But what I'm hearing is that Real Madrid are also quite confident to have Xabi Alonso already for the club's World Cup. So the idea would have to get the green light for Alonso for the club's World Cup. Otherwise, there is Santiago Solari ready to take care of the squad at the club's World Cup. But Real Madrid will try for Xabi Alonso to be ready for that moment. So let's say June, in order to prepare the squad for the club's World Cup. And then there will be more movements, guys, on the market for several clubs. Let me start with Jorrel Hato, this talented defender from Ajax. For sure, he's a player on the list of Chelsea and Liverpool in Premier League. So both clubs are monitoring the player, and for sure he's in the list. Then all these clubs, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal and more, are all waiting for Dean Huijsen to make his choice. You remember, as I told you, that all these three clubs, Chelsea, Liverpool and Arsenal, are strong in the race for Dean Huijsen, so for sure they are waiting for the player to make a decision, but Jorrel Hato is also in the list at Chelsea and at Liverpool as a potential name in case they can't get Dean Huijsen. So Hato for sure is on the short list. And then also let me add on Hato that Real Madrid have been watching the player closely. I told you about this several times, but Real Madrid, from what I'm hearing, sent their scouts many times to follow Jorrel Hato. Then let's see what Real Madrid decides to do with the centre-back, but for sure is a player they have been monitoring with their scouts. Again, Chelsea and Liverpool have the player on their shortlist, so we will be following that situation because Hato could be one of the most interesting names to follow in terms of centre-backs in the summer transfer window. Now Ajax are focused on completing their fantastic season, trying to win and complete the win of the league, and then Jorrel Hato will be one of the names to watch for the summer transfer window. And then guys, there is the topic of the strikers. I wanted to clarify something. Also, one of the most wanted strikers around, as always, scoring incredible number of goals for Galatasaray, and the player is Victor Osimhen. I keep receiving many questions. First of all, first point to clarify, Osimhen is not staying at Galatasaray. Osimhen is formally going back from the loan deal to Galatasaray to Napoli, but he will not be staying at Napoli. For sure, it's over. The relationship between Osimhen and Napoli is over. The release clause is there, 17 million euros. That remains very clear. What happens with Osimhen now? That when you get all these rumors on Premier League clubs, guys, the interest in Osimhen is genuine from Premier League top clubs, several Premier League top clubs. But the real issue for all the Premier League clubs is the salary. Victor Osimhen is on 12 million euros net per season at Napoli. 12 net per season. So for the Premier League clubs, with the financial fair play and with the different salary structure they have in Premier League in the recent years, at the moment, this money is considered too much. This was also the reason why last summer I was telling you that between Osimhen and Chelsea the deal was never closed, because it was about the salary. And so now, what's the case here? Or Victor Osimhen changes his mind and decides to reduce his salary, but at the moment I don't have this information, or there are other opportunities, like Saudi Arabia, for sure, could be an opportunity for Osimhen, and then there is still the interest from Juventus also in Italy. So there are several possibilities to consider, but about Premier League, the topic is the salary. The problem is the salary. 12 million euros. This is why no English club at the moment has activated the clause or decided to proceed and get the deal done, because of the salary. So let's follow the situation. For sure Osimhen will be one of the names of the summer. For sure he's going back to Napoli from Galatasaray. For sure he's not staying at Napoli, and for sure he has a clause, 17 million euros. 75, sorry. So this is the case. Let's follow the situation, and then we will know more on the future of Victor Osimhen. And so guys, let me know your thoughts on all these stories from Martin Zubimendi and Arsenal, your opinion on this deal, how do you see this one, and then Xabi Alonso and Real Madrid, Victor Osimhen and all the opportunities, Jorrel Hato, which club should go for this talented defender? I wait for your opinion here in comments. Like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, see you soon.